a technical question. How do you connect a modem? How do you link a network? How do you secure the perimeter of your network? Or how do you do IPv4 segmentation and subnetting? Today, it's not these skills that are needed. And the future is going to change where employees and individuals in the organization are going to know what they can do with the existing technology. But they look for the IT professional to guide them about the potential, the unthinkable capabilities of the technology. That's what the IT professionals should offer.
Yeah. The IT professional is going to be a tremendous problem solver. And they're going to be very agile in their thinking. So the problem-solving side helps with troubleshooting. The agile thinking has to do with being very business savvy and being able to understand what it means how to put all these things together. Security, for example, the very roots of security have always been, oops, we have a problem. How do we solve that? Well, we build a firewall, or we do whatever. The key, again, is problem solving. And I think it stems, and I use that word advisedly, stems from science, technical engineering, mathematical education, to give people that kind of knowledge early on. Yeah.
Okay, good. Any question or any? Yes, please. Mike.
Thank you. Concerning the future of
can't you present yourself, please?
Can you hear me?
Can you present yourself, please?
My name is Boumediene Belkouch. I'm from the United Arab Emirates University. The IT professional in the future, all of us have 2 cars and all of us drive cars. However, we're not mechanical engineers. I think we can change oil, but it stops there. It's the same thing for IT, okay? A lot of us are quote unquote IT savvy, but what does it mean? Just using devices? So there should be differentiation between the professional and the consumer. And I think the profession is getting much and much harder in terms of the education. If you look at, for example, the kind of languages that are out there, iOS, Android, and so on and so forth, they're highly technical. So the people who are going to be IT professionals in the technical sense, okay, they will need much more, I would say, deeper backgrounds than what we're thinking about right now, what the panel is suggesting. Okay, the other aspect, okay, we're talking about devices. I do not think in the future we will have devices at all. If you look at the evolution, of all the devices we had, they were this big, and they went smaller and smaller and smaller, and I think they will disappear. I do not think we will use telephones anymore. I think while walking, our telephone will be somewhere following us. And there may be a vision that we should look at, that really devices will disappear. Okay? Now going back to the Ankabut, okay? The Ankabut is just a hammer, that's all it is. It's nothing intelligent about it. It's the people who actually develop services. It's not Ankabut that develops services. It supports services, it does not develop services. And it's not intelligence, the people that make it intelligent. So I think we need to really pay attention to our view of what is technology and what people offer. And the view that we have here is really technology is going to solve our problems.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dr. Isa.
Well, if you remember, I said that right now the children are IT savvy. I didn't say that they're technical, but in the future I'm talking about, they will be technically ready to enter the market. Right now, yes, they are just IT users, consumers. In the future, it will be different completely. So in the future, IT is coming to do everything. You talk about, because there's a trend calling zero size intelligence. This is what we're talking about. It's one of the trends of the future. Means that you get nearly zero size to do intelligence of a whole big supercomputer. That's coming. As an example, if you look at quantum computers, and now talking about DNA computers, a DNA computer, 1 cubic centimeter of a DNA computer can actually do the computer job of the whole world from beginning until now with that 1 cubic centimeter. You can realize how small it's going to be. DNA computing is not just one PC, 2 PC, or one, it's the whole world from the beginning of PCs till, of computers till now, to just have in 1 cubic centimeter. So things are changing, and it's beyond our thinking. The future kids will come ready, not just consumers, but to do things. So there will not be any CIO or anything. Every one person will be a CIO.
Yes, correct. Good. I will summarize the topic by, we agreed all that the IT of the future, it looks like more business-oriented, more services delivery, and problem solvers of the services, of the applications, not problem solvers of the infrastructure or if this IP is adequate to this or not, okay? Answering that, I think confusing between intelligence and smart, and exactly in the topic what we are talking about today is different. Nothing is talking about intelligence and cognitive. This is something we take it apart. But the smartness here, we talk about big data analytics, cloud computing, smart mobility. This is where the smartness is coming here in the IT knowledge. Now the third topic. Good. We talked about the IT workforce. Now let's talk on top of the IT workforce, the leadership, strategic leadership of the future. Each year, research organizations and experts predict the future of IT. While some agree and some don't, there is a trend over time to suggest that what IT leaders worried about 5 years ago and still do will also be the critical challenges into the future. Some of those things are retaining customer loyalty, brand identity, security, controlling cost. How the leadership are looking at the IT and to preserve this 4 pillars of the service provisioning and service delivery to the end user. Dr. James.
Sorry. You know, I think one of the, when it comes to customer loyalty, you know, preserving that, I think that the primary way in which that will happen is engaging in two-way, or at least two-way, if not 1,000-way conversations with customers. It's been a relatively new idea in social media that if you're just giving out information and not getting anything back, then it's a failed campaign. That's a fairly new, you know, last 5-10 years. I think the idea is that if you can capture as an entity the conversations that are going on out there and bring them in, then I think that's the way to capture customer loyalty. That goes right back to the Internet of Everything, that goes back to the connectivity, and it goes back to analytics. That would be my answer.
Mr. Rabia.
Just a quick comment on the previous comment. I thought it was a question, but spot on. I agree with you. I think you may have misunderstood what was portrayed, which is the complexities are becoming so much more. They're increasing exponentially. But what we need to do is bring a new generation of professionals who don't solve the older problems, such as the subnetting and firewalling and so on and so forth, but solve the more complex problems of deploying technology that fits the needs of the business. But we can debate that further if you'd like in the break. Very good comment, I appreciate that. To answer the question around the evolution of the strategic business leadership of organizations, whether it's a government organization or a private organization. I believe the major shift that we'll see is, although technology is not the answer to all problems, it is a major component and a fundamental pillar in providing solutions to problems going forward. And it's becoming more and more prevalent in providing these solutions. If you think about 10 years ago, our dependence on technology was so much smaller than it is today. And every day that comes in, the dependence on technology is going to grow further and further. That's why we are at a critical stage today where the journey forward is nothing but the adoption of technology. It's a train that is plowing forward, and people would either have to get on board of that train or be left behind. There is no question about that. So what needs to happen is thinking about how technology can change things in your environment. And what I mean change things is change things internally through providing better collaborative environment for your employees, more efficient processes, cost reduction, improved accelerated production of products and services and so on, but also open up new opportunities through the leverage of technology, new markets, new countries you can operate in or deliver better services to your customers. That's why, if you think about it, every time the leadership of this nation, starting with Sheikh Zayed and down to Sheikh Khalifa, Sheikh Mohammed, and Sheikh Mohammed, they always tell us every time we achieve a summit, every time we achieve a goal, we have to look to the next level, to the next higher summit and the next higher goal. The reason for that is we have to continue to challenge ourselves. And just last week, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid announced the strategy for Smart Dubai. Now, why did he announce this strategy? Because he wants to take Dubai from where it is today, and the UAE, and Abu Dhabi, and the whole region. We're setting an example. We need to take this region, this nation, this country, from where it is today to where it should be in the future. And every time we achieve a goal, we should look for further goal. So the use of technology, if you think about it, when the strategy was announced last week about Smart Dubai, was the fundamental pillar that's going to enhance the life across the whole city, potentially the whole nation, and obviously the vision of Sheikh Khalifa across the whole UAE for smarter societies is absolutely going to deliver on that. So technology is not the only answer to those solutions, but it's probably the most important one.
Good. Dr. Isa.
Well, you said it all, actually. The leaders here, it all depends on leadership anywhere you go. Leaders are the ones who make things successful or not. And our leaders, they worked hard to make the nation, the people happy, and to make the nation as par with the other developed countries. We have not reached there yet. So all these announcements of smart cities and so on, they are just a beginning of a future, lots of future endeavors to encounter. We are looking at smart cities. That means that we are consuming every smart element which was produced somewhere else. So smart cities is the first step. I want to make sure that we go to the next step, which is knowledge-based smart city, to create our own knowledge so that we can create that kind of smart elements that are here, not just to be imported from outside. As I said, that Silicon Valley is a leaderless entity, even though I can't call it an entity. And it's the only successful entity that didn't have any leadership. So future is coming that there will be no leaders, maybe in 50 years or 100 years, things will be organic. But the fear is now, because they're looking at computers, as they say, it's now like 1/10 of the brain of a human being, that supercomputer. in 10 to 15 years, I think, or 20 years maybe, it'll be as good as human being's brain. And in 50 years, it will be thousand times smarter than human brain. What does that mean? The future sometimes is scary. Are we going to be controlled by these kind of machines? Are we going to be controlled by them if they're smarter than us? I think that human being will also be smarter as we go on. The children that are coming are going to be as smart. Still, they will be going to create those kind of computers, and at the end, we don't worry about those controls because we get smarter people. Maybe compared it to now, yeah, it'll be 100 to 1,000 times smarter than us, or more intelligent than us, I could say. But future generations will be more intelligent than what we are today.
Good, thank you very much. I like to be visionary and also to dream for the future. We have seen in the Government Summit 2014 the announce of the smart government and the dedicated project on Smart Dubai. If I am supporting this vision of the leadership of the country and distribute the tasks to Dr. Isa, for example, to be responsible of the smart education for 2020, and Mr. Rabi for smart cities for 2020, and Dr. James for smart companies for 2020. How do you like to let us fly on your dreams? How do you see this in 2020 achievement on education, city, and company? Dr. Isa.
Maybe I could call it smarter education, not smart, smarter education.
Smarter, okay.
Yeah.
And research.
I keep going back to the elements of the ecosystem. So we need to have good education system in the education system. We need to have good research and business development in the education system. We need to have every university to have an entrepreneurship center or incubation center or innovation center. So the university should be a small example of the society. Complete ecosystem should be part of that. We should have excellent infrastructure. If you do that, then we will be smarter education systems or universities that will serve the community in producing knowledge in terms of global standards.
Good. Let's fly.
That's a great question. I am a dreamer. However, I have to say that about 18 years ago, when we were talking about the internet and we said with IPv4 addresses, because I used to write the programs in some of the embedded devices at Cisco, we never thought that we would run out of IPv4 addresses before 2025, 2030 potentially, as we were seeing the progress of adoption. We ran out of IPv4 addresses in 2011. So whatever I tell you today, multiply exponentially to get the flavor of what is possible. As you land in the city, you will enter the city